Hi, this is Debbie Sasson, financial planner and money coach, helping you to build a healthy, confident relationship with your wealth. In last week's video, I talked about 3 easy-peasy steps that you can take to start getting yourself ready to investing your money. And let's say that you actually took that advice, you've set some money aside, and now you are really ready to start investing. You've done a little bit of research, you have a little bit more familiarity with the concepts of investing, but now you're at a point where like, what do I invest my money in? I don't even know now what I'm supposed to do and how to get started because there are so many different options out there. So I'm going to give you a little bit of, again, baby steps on how you can get going. And first I'm going to introduce to you the term asset allocation, if you haven't heard it before. And it's a big, scary term. And I know like that almost, that can also make people feel uncomfortable. But asset allocation is really just how you allocate or how you divide your money between different types of investments, between different asset classes. And for the purpose of our video, we're going to be talking about 2 different asset classes. Okay, we're not talking about real estate because we're talking about just getting going with a little bit of money. And this is investment money that you can leave invested for the long term, let's say 5 years or 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but you have a long-term horizon. You don't need the money in the next 2 years or something to put a down payment on a house. So this is real investment money. So we have 2 asset classes. One is stocks and one is bonds. Okay, stocks, as we've talked about before, and you can go and I'll put the links down below so you can access it. I've talked before about what stocks are and bonds are, so just a short recap. Stocks are riskier investments. They're more volatile. The prices tend to go up and down a lot over the course of short periods of time, but over the long term, stocks go up. And stocks are, you're a partial owner in a company when you own stocks or shares, equities, same name for, or different names for the same thing. And bonds are basically like loans. They're much more stable. Their prices don't fluctuate as much. And that's the more conservative, stable part of your portfolio. And when you're building your starter investment portfolio, you want a combination of stocks and bonds. Again, we're not talking about cash, which is the money that you might need in the short term or medium term to cover some of your purchasing needs. Okay, so if you have a long-term investment horizon, this is what we're talking about. So a rule of thumb to help you get started: take your age. Okay, I'm 54, so if I take 100 minus my age, right, 46. 100 minus 54 is 46. That is the recommended rule of thumb percentage that you should be investing in stocks in your portfolio. Now that rule of thumb is really more for men than for women because women have a longer life expectancy. So for women, the rule of thumb would be 110 minus your age is the percentage of your money you should be investing in stocks. So for me, again, 110 minus 54 would be 56, and that would be the percentage of my portfolio that I would want to be investing for the long term in stocks. So I'd say 56% in stocks. So what's the leftovers? 44%. And that would be the percentage of my portfolio that I would want to invest, rule of thumb, in a starter portfolio for investing for the long term. And you don't have to get into like 56, 57, 55, whatever. You can make it a round number and say 55% in stocks, 45% in bonds, and let's get started. Okay, so now the question is what do? You kind of know what your asset allocation is going to be. 55 stocks, 45 bonds. Where do I go? What do I do? And you can look at different investment companies that offer already made investment portfolios. Some of them are on micro investing platforms like Acorns that we've talked about before. And they're all going to come with like these really catchy terms like your safe portfolio, your growth portfolio, your aspirational portfolio. They all come with like really sexy names and, to help you get started. So look at the details and find a portfolio that more or less suits your asset allocation needs. So if you find a portfolio that's 60% stocks and 40% bonds, and that's usually how they split up. It's usually 80% stocks, 20% bonds, 70% stocks, 30% bonds, 60, 40, 50, 50. Pick one, get started. If you're sort of in the middle like I am, like a 55% stocks, pick what feels comfortable to you. 60% stocks, 50% bonds, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing that you can do is just get started. Okay, so you can go out and find those ready-made or ready-constructed portfolios with the asset allocation, that's more or less at your rule of thumb investing needs. Now, let me just take it one step further for those folks who want to construct the portfolio by themselves. And we've talked about, again, in previous videos about funds, mutual funds, ETFs, and you can build for yourself a two-fund portfolio where you have one fund in stocks, and if you have, let's say, $10,000 to put into investing, you can take $5,500 and put it into a stock fund, and you can take $4,500 and put it into a bond fund. And I would take a stock fund that's pretty all-encompassing for the stock markets. There are stock funds that invest in the total world stock market, which is a great way to have broad exposure to companies all around the globe. And then, because we want the conservative, stable part of the portfolio to really be the anchor for your future investments, look for a stable government bond fund in your country. And that way you can build a two-fund portfolio, easily to get yourself started with investing. Now, I know that the concepts that I've talked about might be new for many people, so feel free to go back and listen to this video over and over again until the concepts and the terms become familiar to you. It's a very short video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, because I'll be happy to come and answer your questions and get you started on building your healthy, confident wealth. So this is Debbie Sasson, financial planner and money coaching, wishing you a great investing journey. Thanks for listening today. Bye.